Why does it do that? What are you doing? This is the four ways. I'm pretty sure they were synchronized before. Now they're not. None of these ones are good, so it's just the front one. Interesting. I know other people have had this problem before. And the gauge cluster looks funny too. So if we put this back, that one stays illuminated. When you go right, it blinks right, but when you go left, I don't know if it does anything. So let's check right. Back right works. And front right works. So let's try left signal. That one stays illuminated. And that one doesn't come on at all. What? Alright, so today we're going to be taking a look at turn signals. In my particular case, when you turn left, the blinker stays on. And now, also when you turn right, the blinker stays on. So it's a bundle of fun. And when you turn the headlights on, they also come on, but they don't actually come on. They're only on the dash. And then if you look very carefully, when I turn it on, it gets a little brighter. And that's when you know it's actually on. So my assumption is that the running lights are short-circuiting the turn signal bulbs and causing them to turn on. Now, let's look outside. So first, I'll put on the turn signal for the left. In the back, the left comes on. And in the front, the left comes on. But you're going, hey, that's really dim. Very good. This is the running light, not the turn signal light. So for some reason, the turn signal is activating the running light. And on the right side, everything used to be okay. But now the right side is doing the exact same thing, so I won't bother showing it twice. And here's the fun part. With the headlights on, that bulb now goes out. So at night, I never have front turn signals. So that's kind of annoying. But the back one still works. So, and also, I'll show you in another video, but if you turn the headlights on and then activate the four ways, the blinker that wasn't working would blink out of sync of all the other ones. So when it was supposed to be on, it'd turn off, and vice versa. So we're going to be looking into what could cause such annoying problems. And from what I know, the left side, the socket short-circuited, and the right I haven't looked into yet, but I'm pretty sure the wires came undone because the previous owner spliced in a new connector and didn't bother doing a good job. So we're going to take both sides apart and maybe fix them. Who knows? Alright, now, I'm sure someone would be like, hey, why don't you check the obvious stuff? Neither of your lights blink, so why don't you check the blinker first? You'd think, oh, okay, that sounds kind of reasonable. Well, something cool you can do in the older models that still use these round flashers, you come underneath to your electrical box, you have two flashers. The bottom one, the gray style, that is for your four ways, and the blue style is for your blinkers. I just reversed them, and something interesting, the blinkers have a function in them that tell you when your lights start to go bad by flashing faster, and I think in my case, since there's no bulbs or it's not connected or something, it's flashing so fast it doesn't actually flash. But if you swap them, the four ways don't do that. So, take a look. If I go left, it blinks. I go right, it blinks. If I turn my four ways on, they blink fast as fuck. Because there's just enough amperage from the two lights in the back to make it go. So, if you want to have blinkers that, blink, you can use your four ways if you want. but that still doesn't fix the problem of the lights not actually turning on. So, just thought you'd like to see that. Anyway. If you notice, the taller one is flashing, and that's not actually the flasher, that's the running light. The smaller filament should be the one that flashes, because that one's a lot brighter, and if I could get it to turn on, you would see. Now, another thing you'd say, oh, why don't you check your bulbs? These are new bulbs. Both sides. So, there's that lovely, whatever the fuck you'd like to call that. Notice the difference in connectors, too. Okay, finally. So, if you notice, this is really bright, and you probably can't focus on it. But if you can tell, that smaller filament is blinking. The small filament is the blinker. So that's my whole setup, finally. So I just had to undo the wires and redo them. Now something interesting I want to check. See how that bulb is on right now? Let's see what happens if I pull the bulb out. So I'm going to turn that off and pull this bulb out and see what happens. So you just push it and twist it out. Okay. Now if I turn the light on, it's not on the dash anymore. So you can tell that that socket's messed up, because now the right one isn't doing that either. But so that means it's something around here is shorted. Well, you would have to guess the socket's shorted if the bulb being taken out fixed that. So I have a new adapter connector for that, and that runs. So okay, so after mapping everything out, on the passenger side, the red wire that came out of here goes to the blue wire. The blue wire is the run on both sides. You have the blue wire for the running light on the passenger side, and a blue light or a blue wire for the left side or the driver's side. On the passenger side, the brown wire is the blink light, and on the driver's side, the white one is the blink. So we got ground here. This one's the run, and this white with the black stripe is the blinker. And on this side, you got your black to black. You have your blue, which is the blinker, which is connected to the red here. And you got over here the brown, which is the run, which is connected to the green. So, I got myself a new socket for my blinker light, because I guess this one is shorted out or something. I don't know. There's two different kinds that I saw at my parts store. One made by Ford, one made by GM. The Ford one I bought because it looked a lot like the one I have. This one was $10, the one made by GM was $5, and it looked a lot closer to that in style. So maybe that's the newer ones, I don't know. I just figured I'd get this one because it looked like the one I have. So, and they both take the same bulb. Your 1157 bulb. So, I'm going to hook that up and see if my blinker works. Okay, so here's the setup right here. We got our new connector hooked up and our bulb in there. The wiring right here, you got black to black. Your white wire is your running wire, and the red wire is your blinking wire. So I just have the wires sitting in there just for test purposes, and the right one's already hooked up. So, moment of truth. First off, we turn the headlights on. Oh, nothing on the dash. Let's go outside and look. This bulb, and if you'll notice, the higher one is blinking, or on, I'm sorry. And same over here. The upper filament is on. Good, very good. Okay. Let's go left. Oh, it blinks. Look at that shit right there. Look at that. Oh my god. It's actually blinking. Holy shit. I've never been so excited for a blinker in my life. And the right one blinks too. Let's check. Oh shit. Look at that. Oh my god, I've been living with this problem for so fucking long. Holy shit. Okay. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. 4 ways. Oh man, look at that. Oh, yes. Sweet. So much sweet. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Okay, so, I believe that fixed my problem. So, in order to keep things the way that they are, this comes with crimp connectors. And crimps are okay, but I like to go the extra mile and solder and use heat shrink. So I'm gonna fucking do that so I don't ever have to do this again. Because I like my blinkers. Same on this side. I'm gonna try, if you notice they're kind of corroded, I might cut it back a bit to get some fresh copper, but another thing you can do is put some, I think like resin something, resin core, I don't remember what the fuck it's called. There's stuff you can put on there that's supposed to take the flux. It takes the contaminants off the copper, and then like put a lighter over it or something, I think, and it'll help bring the copper back to its original structure. Shit, I don't know. But on this side, we got fresh copper over here, so I'm gonna snip these off and solder them so I have fucking blinkers again. I am so happy. Holy shit! I hope this fixes your problem. So happy it fixed mine. Okay, so here we are. We got heat shrink tubing on the back, and all the ends are pre-tinned. I always pre-tin older copper because it's a pain in the ass to try to do it. Start at the tip, and if you're lucky and your solder has a resin core, that'll eat away all the crap in the copper and make the solder stick. So start at the tip, and put the iron on the one side and the wire on the other, and wait for the wire to get hot enough to melt it, and then it should stick, and then you can slowly run it back and down and try to get all the crap off. But besides that, it's time to put them together now. It should be nice and easy now that they're both tinned. It's always a good idea to test your connections before you finish up the heat shrink tubing. So everything works. Alright, just to show you, all the connections are back up, and it's plugged in and it fits. So, time to put this all back together again, and I'll show you the finished product. Alright, so there we have it. 2 working running bulbs and blinker bulbs in the front. And they operate properly. It's amazing. Come around back. And the back ones operate. Awesome. And if we look on the cluster, look at that. The lights turn off when they're supposed to turn off. Holy fucking shit. It's amazing. So, if you got blinker issues, check some shit. Things to look for. If you got lights stuck on the dash, try pulling the bulb out and see if it goes off. If it does, it's probably your connector. So pick up one of these dealios. Or, if the light just never does anything, maybe check the wiring, because my wiring was off on that side. So, good luck and happy blinking.